Awesome.
Hooray!
For one, seems that we did it at the first time.
Yep, that's good. I'm still sitting through a weird Twitch ad, but it's fine. How is everyone anyway?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Nice to be here. Yeah.
Yep. So,
Looking forward to the community tournament.
yeah, has everyone signed up for that? Should be fun. Like, there's going to be like a whole range of standards. So, from terrible people like me to all the way up to like Ketrock and Rasper, who's
Rasper's pretty good,
yeah. So that's going to be fun. Yeah. What else? We got a game ongoing.
It is on the robot right now, so no.
There we go. Shanzu bot against ABC. I've not seen ABC before, actually. But anyway,
should I just? There's
go ahead.
a couple of games I do have. Should I queue those up now, or
Yes,
is that okay?
So we have a little of time to prepare the gauntlet, because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I haven't checked what we have around.
Oh, that's cool. So yes, a couple of small announcements first. We have so we're doing like a AI Arena end of year tournament. That's going to be separated from ProBots. That's going to take place at start of January. Although it's end of year, start of January, same thing. So at the moment, we're planning on finishing this season on the 21st, I think, of December. So that gives people all of the Christmas holidays to go and prepare their bots for that tournament. So that should be good.
Do we know the format?
So the format was similar to the old SC2 AI tournaments, with the 4 groups of 3, and then into a quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals game, or best of 3, except for the final best of 5, I believe. So yeah, we'll have a full announcement on the wiki just after that, though. So that's all coming up. So if you didn't want to have like a good Christmas holiday or anything, you can spend your entire Christmas making bots for a tournament. What better Christmas present could I give
anything.
you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Yeah, but that's cool. So I've not seen ABC bot before.
ABC bot doesn't have a terribly good win rate.
No.
I mean, neither does my bot. Yeah, we see it all the time because they keep adding it.
Yeah.
Okay, I think now we're going to the games that I queued up. So first match should be Ketrock versus Dovahkiin.
Cool.
There's no worker rush. Spoiler alert.
It's a possible ProBots matchup, right?
I think so.
$2,000 atmospheres, and lower left corner Ketrock and upper right Dovahkiin.
If Dova can take out the minion dog and Eris, then
he's doing really well.
Ketrock in the loser bracket final.
Yeah. I always do love to see a nice little bit of cheese in the robots tournament. It does keep things interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have to be honest, I would prefer to have a macro as Ketro has, or Eris, or anybody else, But let's be honest. I mean, my bot is not at that shape. So hopefully in the near future. But at the moment, if we want to have some kind of a fight, and not only being a bot basically wipe out of that, it has to be a worker rush
Yeah.
against Micro Machine.
Well, some of these bots now are so like great on macro that to get a macro game that challenges them, it takes a lot of work, and they've put a lot of work into it as well. So yeah, it's very difficult.
Well, I mean,
You did add on a.
So macros in general just are hard.
Or you're
They
breaking
still
up.
are
a
not transferring, not transferring drones to the natural. Looks like oversaturation underneath.
bit that way, yeah.
my fantastic, I mean, a little advice for navigants. If you are morphing Ravagers and you give them a move command, that means that the Ravager cancels the morph. So if as a roach you move a roach that is morphing to Ravager for some reason, gets that cancel. Lucky for me, all the minerals and gas comes back. Only you get a 75% if the Ravager dies. I mean, what I really enjoy from this game is the micro of the mines. Look at them. Each time that a bile is going for them, whoop out and step down and out.
That is really cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm planning on doing a little circle of 3 vials, and then dropping a 4th one on the vial on the mine. So it will try to avoid or make the mind crazy where to go. But I mean, one of these days.
Yeah, also then you need 4 vials, right, to get 1 hit. So it's already worth it. It's interesting to see Ketrock going mass mine here.
I think Ketrock has died so many times on mass mines that he decided to use those also.
Yeah, it's not a bad tactic.
It'd be really cool
like,
if we could get the info from the game. Scarlet was talking about adding a buff for the Widow Mine target. It might be possible to do in the maps.
Yeah, so I think it's possible, but the thing I don't like about that kind of thing is it does mess with the API a bit, so it might break some of the older bots. But
but for this, I think it's worth it because this is a really big annoyance.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Oh, hey. How you doing?
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah. So I think you'd need to be very careful with that as well in only exposing stuff that would be humanly viable.
Of course.
So you can't necessarily see everything that's in a bunker if you're a human, can you?
But just the fact is it occupied or not?
Yeah.
Yes, you can see it's occupied, but you can't see what's in it essentially. So
so custom buff could only indicate that.
And just being able to see that the bunker's occupied is enough for most of us.
Yeah.
Because right now bunkers are like a black hole of units. I mean, to be fair, it's the same with command centers, but you can't even tell if a command center has things in it in the first place, I believe.
Yeah, but also you don't care.
Yeah, that's the big one. No one cares. Whether a hatchery is upgrading to a lair is probably pretty important that we don't get to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. That's something that would be cool. But yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I think Scott said she would have to look into it, but
Seeing the building units on like I believe it's a Stargate as well.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, it's true. You should be able to see that. What units are being constructed.
I mean, is that available to human, or is it just like if it's in use or not?
Yeah, if you zoom in, you can see exactly
yeah,
what
you can
units
see
being
it.
worked in.
You can
there.
see the outline of it. Yeah.
Oh,
You need
okay. I
a
didn't
little bit
realize
of
that.
practice. to tell.
Okay. I thought you could just see if it was in use or not. I didn't realize it was a different like ID for.
Yeah,
if it
most
was.
It's
structures are
easy
that
to
way,
s-
but
It's easy to see it's in use, but it's harder to see that it's what it's constructing. But you can see it for those. Most of them, as I believe Ketrug was just gonna say, you can see if they're in use or not.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Forge has a little like turning thing on it, but you can't see what's being upgraded. You can just see the.
Spawning pool is wriggling faster.
Yeah.
Same with the
See,
hatchery.
this-
Right? You can see if it's building a queen.
This game is turning a bit
I
interesting.
think only thing that's available for the bots is the building active or not. That's the only thing
Yeah.
that's available for the construction buildings at the moment.
I think-
But
Is that even?
just having
And
it
of course
active or
for the
not
spawning
is
pool.
active or not is good enough for most of the buildings. It's just not
Yeah.
certain ones.
Yeah, I would be hesitant
have
about
that?
adding that, but yes, we have it. Yeah,
We have the active value. Yeah.
yeah. I'm not convinced.
I do
that-
check is this.
you
Yeah,
cut
go
it out,
ahead, sorry.
Silas. Yeah.
But I was going to say that I personally do check is the spawning pool active, and if it is, it's most certainly some kind of circling rush at the early game. So that's one of the things I definitely do check on my bot at the moment.
Yeah.
Although I
So-
wouldn't make that conclusion. Most macro
Yeah,
builds
you
will
always
build no
get
Zerglings, but
you
will still
always
get
speed.
Zergling speed.
Be worried if it's
Yeah, there's
not
of
researching
course
Zergling speed.
exceptions, but
Yeah, no Zergling speed is actually scary because that means it might be
That's
a fast
a-
layer.
Yeah. So yeah, this game has just got really interesting and is now like a massive comeback for Ketrock.
Yeah, I thought Ketrock was dead.
Yeah,
Really
but
well.
he's
The Banshees,
basically
I guess, saved the day.
yeah.
Yeah, luckily the starports were in the very, very back of my base because he pushed all the way through to like my mineral line.
Yeah,
But the starports survived and the expansions survived, which meant I was able to slowly turn the game.
yeah. It's,
And now you're building a base basically everywhere.
Yeah, that happens if I bot. You need gas, so just take every base, and so you can have every gas geyser.
I mean, my bot eventually has enough minerals to just take every base, so that's what
Yeah.
happens with mine.
Which
that's
expansion do you take, Ketrock? Yes.
I mean, for Ketrock, it's yes. For me, it's like all of them, in whatever order I can think of.
That's a good tactic, though.
actually, I did
So-
have some success. I tried to make quite a slow expanding bot also. I mean strategy. So I'm not familiar with the game mechanics so much, but I think for really slow expanding Terran bot could be also really beneficial. Really good tactics also.
So
Yeah.
we're not really talking about this, but I wanted to bring it up. So I switched my bot from expanding randomly for all bases to expanding normally for the first 2 expansions. It actually loses a lot more now because of that.
Oh, that's a weird one.
It's It depends on the situation and the bots it's facing and the race you are playing. So for the Terran, I don't think it's so much beneficial to expand like a crazy, but for the Zerg bot, I definitely think that's a really good way to handle things.
Yeah, there's some difference in the bot meta too. Like, a lot of bots won't be scouting the corners, for instance.
Yeah, I agree
Like
with
the
that.
reason to expand to keep your bases all close together is so they're easy to defend. And a lot of bots won't exploit the fact that you have a base way off in the middle of nowhere that you can't defend easily. The other thing is when you're defending bases that are close together, you kind of want your siege tanks set up in a certain way and your army in a certain position. And no bot really has that sort of mindset to, how do I defend my natural and third at the same time? We just kind of send all our units where they're needed. So, yeah. Certainly expanding everywhere won't work versus a human very well. Unless it goes completely unscouted.
Interestingly, I did see there was like one of the challenges of like how fast can you max out from like 200 supply. And I was watching how they were doing that, and it was essentially they basically got up to 6 bases and then just thrown out zealots, which was a bit crazy.
Yeah, I think that's the most. Well, one is because probes are one of the cheapest units per supply you can build, so more Nexus is better. And then also, the more Nexus you have, the more Chrono Boost you have. So that
Yeah.
Chrono Boost is also a nice weapon to get units out faster.
Yeah.
It's obviously that's not anywhere close to a smart build if you want to win the game, but if you're just trying to reach 200 supply as fast as possible, it's a good method.
Yeah.
200 spies, no enemy, basically.
Yeah. We can move on to the next game if you want. This one looks.
Yeah, this one looks like it's over.
Somebody, we could say that this is the time when we fast forward, right?
Yeah, this is pretty much when we fast forward. It's 30 supply to 200 supply. I don't think there's going to be any surprises here.
That Widowmine play that we will see in ProBots. That's something I kind of saved for my ProBot submission. Tried it once or twice on the ladder and then kept it hidden.
That looked nice.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually
Talking
good,
about
but
the micro,
it's new at least.
the bile coaching from the mines is pretty nice.
Yeah, I think I got pretty
Which bot
perfect.
was it that just basically did a
I proceed to
minefield
do
the
the same
entire
thing
time?
with yourself. If you can't win them, join them.
Yeah, that's Anibot.
Yeah,
does it.
that's
Yeah.
I did that couple of times. Yeah.
I think my bot's like in or my mines. The micro for my mines in battle, I think is pretty much perfect. But in terms of its strategy, it's basically just shove them right up the gut. Just slam them right towards the enemy base. Where Civilus does a lot more of the, let's create a minefield all over the map. So different tactic.
Yeah, different approach. Yeah. I tried to do proper attack micro with the mines and wasn't really successive with that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Eris also has perfect defense versus them. So as soon as I burrow them, he pulls all his units out of range. And then when they're out of range, I unburrow. And then he brings them back in range, so I burrow again, and he brings them all out of range, and then I unburrow.
Sounds like a bot game.
And there's a weird technique with the queens where the queens can attack, and then between their attacks, they can move back just far enough to cancel the mine hit, and then they can come in and attack again. So this the standard kiting of queens allows them to kill the mines without getting hit back, even though they're both supposed to be the same range.
Yeah, but it takes a small amount of time from a mine to make a hit. But I think you can actually do that kind of micro with a lot of units, except for the melee units. So you take Marauder, shoot once, go back out of the range, and do the same thing again.
One of
Of
the
course, you have
issues-
to have.
One of the issues with that, though, is that I believe the API's weapon fire stuff isn't all that accurate. So you have to keep track of it yourself, and that's a lot more work for a lot of people. So
Yeah, but I mean, even if the queen is just attacking from max range and stepping back when it's on cooldown, that alone will make it so that the Widowmine lock will never actually successfully attack. Just that one little step back it does between every shot. For Marauder, it's not so much of an issue because the Marauder outranges the mine. So, but for a unit that has the same attack range as a Widowmine, like a Queen, and probably a Marine, I think it's the same one, same distance. It might be able to step back.
What's
I don't know.
the
It's just a little
distance for the
interesting
mine?
thing
Is
to
it,
saw when I tried it out. Widowmine's 5 range, I believe.
okay? So Marauders will outrange the mine then. Okay.
Yeah. And Marines probably shoot too quickly to be able to step back between shots. But Queens just have that perfect combination of the exact same range plus a slow attack speed. Yeah, because I built it mainly to see how
Okay.
it worked versus Eris, and I don't think it works that well. But we'll see it in Probots nonetheless if I face him.
That would be cool. I just realized it shows all the participants on the audio on the left side of the stream. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
nicer. I think.
So Discord has an overlay, and the overlay is coming up on each game. So that's why we're seeing that.
I see.
So Shark has more supply than Annie and Tempest. So
Yeah.
let's see how this goes.
About 20 more workers.
Tempests are quite Achilles heel for my bot. It doesn't. I tried to counter Tempests with the Vikings, but I don't know. Does Annie have Vikings at the moment? So, anyways, this looks really bad.
Got one Tempest down. Half the job done. Yeah, I really need to revisit my anti-Tempest code. I haven't touched that in like probably a year, and it's really bad. There's just like a long period of time where there weren't a lot of Protoss near the top of the ladder, so it was never like a high priority.
I think
Does
it's
negative
starting
zero go
to.
Tempests?
He
That
does,
game.
and he absolutely slaughters my bot, which is why I need to revisit that code.
How he's slaughtering everyone now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was slaughtering me pretty well before he even added Tempest, and now with Tempest added, it's just like, yeah, his PVT is death.
I really hope that it was a joke when he mentioned that on Discord.
What
the-
did you say? So?
I really hope that it was a joke about the tempests when they were mentioned on the Discord, but it wasn't joke. They are now there.
Yeah,
No, that wasn't a joke. I think they're making a comeback. It's really interesting to see how the meta shifts because like immediately something becomes like a big thing. Everyone will find things to sort of like counter that, and then like that goes completely out of fashion. So then someone brings it back, and it's like Tempests. Because for a lot of time, people had sort of like nice Viking code. Like I know Ketrock, you were working on it for a long time to actually beat that. But
yeah, it was good enough for the Tempests of the past. You know, like these
yeah,
one base Tempest plays and like, you know, kind of like nonsense sort of stuff where you just get ahead economically and it doesn't matter how bad you trade with the Tempest, you'll still end up winning.
Yeah.
But now we have negative zero who gets so far ahead economically and then he brings out Tempest. It's like, okay, now I'm losing in
Yeah.
every single way and I gotta deal with Tempest as well. It's like, good luck.
yeah.
My bot
Oh,
seems to
it's-
overreact to Tempest a little bit too, which isn't good when he has, Adepts killing everything and
I mean,
Stalkers,
he's
Immortals.
got pretty much everything in that composition. Archons, like Blade Raise Tempest, Carriers, like Stalkers.
No, Sharkbot here, yeah, he does.
Yeah,
One of everything here.
yeah, pretty much.
It's really difficult to make a specific code for this kind of composition because what the enemy has? Well, everything. What should we build? Well, everything.
Yeah, and that is typically the job of the Terran in PvT. The Protoss decides what he wants to build, and the Terran player has to adjust his composition to beat it. You can't really do it the other way around with Terran. You can't just like, I'm going to build whatever I want to build, and you got to figure out how to beat me. It doesn't really work that way. But we do have Vikings, and they're a pretty good answer to a lot of things in the air.
The carriers are
Yeah, if I remember
going off on
correctly.
their own.
Well, Curios is another thing that's really broken in the API. I'm not sure if there's anything that Scarlet can do about that, but as a Protoss, you don't really know how many interceptors you have. You don't know whether they're in the carrier or whether they're attacking, which makes perfect carrier micro almost impossible.
Well, the Thors are a
I
nice
think-
answer to that, though.
If they shoot the carriers instead of the interceptors.
Yes, yeah, that is the thing. Yeah, they have to be well targeted. But
I mean, you can always set
think
them to
my
ignore
Tor-
interceptors, but
You think you throw what?
I think the micro for my Tor micro is like a 20 lines long. It's just once you reach some threshold, a move to the enemy main or some other building, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because I tried to micro the Tors and well, I wasn't able to build good enough micro, so I just decided to a move them. And against carriers, that's really bad solution.
You pick the mode for the Thors, depending on what they're facing.
No, just this high impact. I mean the longer range mode. I don't remember what it is called.
It's called high impact, yeah.
high impact, yeah.
They're both pretty long range. I mean, even the other one is 11 range, which outranges anything, even Tempest. But yeah, the high impact mode is really good for the capital ships, like Tempest and carriers and battle cruisers.
I think the situation looks pretty bad at the moment. Sharkbot has 90 supply versus Anibot's 48. So, I mean the worker supply.
Yeah. I mean, those Liberators are getting work done, though. Like,
He's expanding in your natural. It's hilarious.
oh, that is crazy.
I like these liberation zones. They always end up going up in a good location.
Yeah.
I worked quite a bit with the Liberation Zone micro, and I'm relatively happy with it because I didn't want to clump them up and wanted to some generic way to distribute them, and it seems to be working quite nicely.
Yeah. And it's not too aggressive either. You're not like trying to put a liberation zone right in the middle of the enemy army because that'd be suicidal. It kind of just plops it in front of the enemy army, so if he steps forward, it takes a lot of damage.
Unfortunately, sometimes they do make really bad decisions, but most of the times they are doing well, quite correct way.
So you were making the upgrade for the range of the Liberator, right?
Yes, I do. And after I have the upgrade, I changed the Liberator micro a little bit.
Yeah, that's the one thing I am noticing is that you probably want to always use maximum range for the liberation zone. Sometimes the liberators are like in the middle of the circle. you use max range, it just keeps the Liberator safer.
Yeah, sometimes I do make the liberation zone just under the Liberator because it doesn't check where the Liberator is. It just checks where it wants the zone to be.
Yeah.
One thing I have never checked is that if the liberation zone is on the higher ground and it's touching the ramp like now, are you able to see the liberation zone in lower ground? Because
Yes, you can. You can't see the Liberator though, unless it's attacking.
okay.
But you can see the zone, yeah, no matter what, where it is.
Yeah, that would be quite nasty if you were just getting pelted by a Liberator you couldn't actually see.
And we're talking liberation zone. I mean, it's not that something to take it lightly.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of interesting mechanics like this liberation zone. It's a relatively small area, but you definitely don't want to go there. You wanted to go away. Well, it's not so dangerous against Marines, example. If you have to have like a dozen of Marines, you can just go there and let a couple of Marines die, but you can kill the Liberator anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely better against the big chunky units.
Those doors
Completely
and
true.
liberators are making a huge stand there. I mean, this game should have been over like 5 minutes ago, but somehow you survive. Good job.
Do your Thors get repaired? Is that what I saw it stepping back for?
Yeah, they are trying to get repaired, but that's an interesting thing because I previously I had Thors that they back up once they get low on health, and they get killed when they are walking back home.
Yeah.
So I was just moving there, but now I do a move the Thors back to my repair station. If they are encountered on their way back, they will fight to the bitter end. But if they're able to just move there, then they will come back and repair. So because the Thors are so slow, they are not able to escape the battle if they are chased. So it's better to take a couple of more shots than just try to escape and miserably fail on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's another reason to have to choose your target firing. One was to try to target the capital ships instead of the interceptors. But if you choose your target, then when you're telling it to flee, say go back home to repair, still every time the weapon's off cooldown, he'll turn around and shoot something. So it'll kind of be like a shooting retreat.
I mean, that can work sometimes
I
as
think
well. So, yeah.
They still won't retreat well because they're really,
I
really
prob-
slow. But at least they'll eventually get back if they're not under heavy fire.
You might also want to try and make it so that the least damaged ones are in the back of the retreating line,
Yeah, that can
so
be
that
difficult.
they're more likely to actually make it somewhere they can get repaired.
One thing I noticed when we are talking about the situation that we are on 200 supply,
Disruptor.
and a lot of both have bank a little bit at least. It's not always beneficial to try to repair the units. It's faster to make a new unit instead if you have money for it.
Yeah, that's true. Repairing is definitely a cost efficiency thing. It's not always the best thing to do for tempo, because you got to take your unit out of the fight, which is basically like killing it for a while, and then you got to pull workers off the line, which means you're lowering your income. So it's definitely all about cost efficiency. It's not really about tempo.
Yeah,
Sharkbot is
sometimes
running
you
out of
need the
army.
cost efficiency.
Yeah.
I think Sharkbot is defending this my natural base too aggressively.
Yeah. I mean, there is still a possibility that you can come back from this.
Yeah, these Thors are not being dealt with well, that's for sure.
Oh,
Are those SCVs going to kill a Disruptor?
I mean, like, full respect to those SCVs, but they're all going to die.
I don't see the Disruptor anymore. I think they got it.
No, they got the Disruptor. That's good.
That Disruptor kept killing the Protoss units over and over again too, though, so maybe it's a good thing they killed it.
Yeah. It's one thing
Actually,
that's
there's
actually
no
really
mineral.
difficult. Sorry, go ahead.
There's no minerals left for Annie, so it decided to suicide all the workers.
Oh, I
Ah,
see.
yeah.
Right before he took his natural back too. Like, now I need workers again. Start producing them. What a comeback.
Oh, this is brilliant.
It's 5 times the army of Charbot.
Sharkbot could easily win if it stayed back home and built up an army and pushed Annie over, but instead it walked the units to Annie's side one by one. So I think that was an issue, and also trying to take every base like Annie's natural. That wasn't necessary. You should just leave that base alone, and not suicide every unit on it.
I think my bot will never take the opponent's natural or main base. I think I set it up that way. Like, if I have every other base on the map, then I don't have to worry about winning. So
Yeah,
it keeps my bot from stupidly expanding there when, like maybe every
Yeah.
base on the map is taken by one or the other player, so then you kill his natural, and then you start sending SCVs across the map to expand there. It's like that. No, that's not good. Let's just remove that logic altogether.
I mean, at that point anyway, the game is pretty much done. So either way, it's the times it will make a difference are almost none compared to. Oh wow, got the battle cruisers up as well. So does Anibot just use every single type of unit on this? Like,
yeah, both players are using every type of unit.
yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, the comeback is real, guys. Oh.
Who would known? We are at 27 mark now, and the total worker supply is around 50 or less, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was doing CryptBot, I think I'd done the same thing with like just don't expand into like the opponent's main base, just because like I got a similar thing where I was like just suiciding workers straight into their main base or something.
So I was doing that as well originally, but I just programmed in some code so that I don't expand if there's already a base in that spot, no matter what, and I just send an overlord over early enough so that I can't expand into it because I see the base.
Yeah. Well, I think this one pretty much done.
Yeah, I think so now. The battle cruisers made the suicide jump on the Sharkbot main. I think we can skip this one to the next one. But I wanted to show that the comeback is possible even in the most not desired situations.
Desperate
Yeah.
situation. Yeah. Yeah, we saw 2 big comebacks in a row there.
Yeah, I think today's going to be a day of comebacks.
Oh, now we gotta start doing -0 losses every stream, every community stream.
Is -0 number 1 now? Like,
Oh yeah.
oh, okay. I
Over.
need to change
Oh,
the
yes.
I need to change the roles then. That's
Well, it
I've
depends
been
how
getting-
frequently you want to do it, because he's very close to Eris, so they might be flipping. A little bit.
yeah, okay. We'll leave it for a day or two.
Let's see. He's 12 points ahead of Eris,
Okay, that's good.
but apparently he won like 56 games in a row or something.
Wow.
Okay,
That's
not true anymore.
actually really good.
Is the Discord working for you? Because I'm not able to get in. The voice is working, but otherwise.
There might be a problem there somewhere. I'm fine at the moment. But yeah. So
Well, okay. I don't do anything. I just accept how it is at the moment.
Yeah, your voice is still in Discord somehow.
yeah,
I'm having no
you're
issues
good.
there.
So
Yeah, that's the reason I'm not going to try to fix it.
yeah, as long as it's still working there. So yeah, I think Mecha Shark and Sonzu, they're both in the lower bracket, aren't they, in the division?
Yeah. Mecha Shark is Shark Nice's Terran
Yeah.
bot,
Oh, that's cool.
who has some performance issues. He's getting some
Yeah.
high frame
Oh
rate
God!
and yeah, slowing up the
Look
ladders
at that
sometimes.
APM. All right, okay. Is that 200,000? No, sorry.
20,000, but
I
he's
was
only
I was
has
reading
one
that
Reaper.
wrong. I was looking at that. Is that 200,000? No, it's 20,000. Okay, good.
But here's the thing though, if he micros every single unit, every single frame, it still shouldn't be 20,000. So he
Yeah,
must be giving multiple commands to
I
the
mean,
same unit every frame.
you've got the speed mining, which is going to take up pretty quite a lot of that. But I think speed mining only gets you to about 7,000, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, let's see. Is that like
I think
35 supply
I think
times 22.4 times 60?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you micro every unit, every frame, it's about 47,000
Okay.
APM. So technically he isn't, but I'm guessing he's giving multiple commands to one unit on the same frame.
Yeah, probably. I know I struggled with that a lot when I was making it up. So
Most of the times that that happens is because you don't turn off the row affect selection. That's
Yeah, that could be that
usually
too.
3 times your APM, whatever that you take.
Yeah, because instead of giving a unit a command, it selects the unit, then gives it a command, and then deselects the unit. So it ends up being 3 commands instead of 1.
Yeah.
Which is yeah, it's important to have that off if you want to avoid the APM
Isn't it still selecting though?
bug. It might still be selecting. You might be right. So
Yeah,
it might,
so I
you
think
might
you
be like
skipped
cutting it by a third.
the last deselect.
Yeah, so pretty much have to give three commands per frame, I think.
Yeah, so 3 instead of 2.
Yeah, that's still a lot though.
Yeah, because I mean, a normal bot can get up to like 50,000 APM, and the difference between 50 and 75,000 can be the difference between bugging out or not bugging out.
Yeah, I normally found it was kind of like around 80, 90,000, which the API itself generally tends to go nope. But that's variable depending on what happens, I guess.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell. Like if you go to 150,000, it's almost guaranteed to happen.
Yeah.
But rarely I've seen it happen at like 45,000 or 50,000. And yet sometimes you can go up to like 90,000 and be fine. So I'm not sure. It's not like a hard number, that's for sure. It must be
So it very much depends on the burst radius as well, because like if you do like 150,000 APM, like that's kind of like a certain amount of actions per frame. But the same is going to happen if you do like 10,000 actions in one frame and then one action in the next frame. It will still only be like 11,000 APM, but you're going to bug out for that frame. So yeah, it just depends.
There's actually a hacker on the human ladder that's like ruining the European ladder right now. And what he does is he gets on the ladder, he boosts his APM up to like 300,000-400,000 somehow. And it slows down the game to a point where like every second takes like 25 seconds.
Oh yeah, this is the lag hacker guy I've heard about. Yeah.
So if you want to actually beat him, you got to spend like 3 hours in the game just to kill his floating command center. So most people just quit, which means he got all the way to the top of the ladder, which means now he's like harassing like the top streamers and stuff.
Yeah, that Blizzard needs to deal with that. How do you even get that high on a human ladder though? I guess there's probably some kind of hacks you can do for it.
Well, because everyone quits against them. No one wants to
Oh, I
play
mean,
in a
like,
laggy
how do
game.
you-
Which so you get the win. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how do you get that much APM on a human ladder? I'm guessing you've got
Oh, I
to
don't know. Yeah, some
probably,
sort of
yeah,
macro or
Yeah.
something. Who knows?
yeah. Marcel was saying Cyril beat him. Yeah, like that has to be some commitment right there. I've had an Age of Empires game that actually took 2 hours, but yeah,
Isn't that
Age of
every Age of
Empires.
Empires game? That's what I'm hearing.
No,
It's a long game unless you're doing a cheese.
yeah, most of them are over in like 40, 50 minutes. But
Yeah,
like,
that sounds
yeah,
about
I've
right.
had some that have taken a few hours. But yeah, it generally does take a long time. I remember when I used to play League of Legends as well, back in like the 10 years ago time, when that used to take about like an hour and a half per game. But yeah. But yeah.
The old Storm host from Heart of the Swarm could create some stalemates that would make the game never end.
Yeah, I like the stalemate detection. I've had a few games like that recently, which just got to like stalemate. Mainly because I tried some weird cheese and didn't quite work out. We ended up with both nothing. So, so yeah. But I'm liking this this build from Sharkbot actually, or not Sharkbot, Mecha Shark.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Right.
game. It's like two similar ranked bots. They're both kind of interesting right now.
Yeah,
Sunzu bot still has the issue of kind of hovering at the edge of range, which means he keeps getting hammered but not actually attacking.
yeah.
I think without that, he was actually a very, very good macro bot. If he just solves that one issue, he'd probably go in the top division pretty easily.
Yeah, I think what's the I don't think he's too far below that now. He's like third in Division 2, which is so it's a 15. It's only like 4 points behind Queenbot.
He has
So-
been healing the last week between first and second league division.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Maybe he has fixed it up
he's
then.
often beating Zoe when he shows up in the upper division.
okay, cool.
It was probably just specifically Siege tanks then. He was probably getting blasted from the Fog of War, which I'm sure a lot of bots have an issue with that.
Yeah.
But in the past, he had issues of like just hanging out inside of range.
A lot about the code is basically like if I'm getting hammered and taking damage, sometimes back off, which
Yeah.
against siege tanks is not always what you want to do.
And it's okay to back off as long as you back off far enough that you're safe.
Yeah.
But what Sun Tzu was doing for a long time was he was just backing up a little bit. So you're still getting shot by stalkers and marines and marauders and everything. he was not far
Yeah.
enough away.
No, that's not good.
But yeah, things like Tempest and Siege tanks are in special pain for that because they can shoot from the Fog of War. And if
Yeah.
you don't keep track of where they are, your bot will just keep forgetting that they exist, and you just keep walking back into the range.
Yeah, it has the old child problem of if I can't see something, it doesn't exist, and
Yeah.
it's like no.
Yeah, that's one of the most difficult things with Tempest too, because they're kind of like siege tanks, but then they can also move around in the Fog of War.
Yeah.
So you're back at a range of where you last saw them, but who's to say they haven't been chasing you the whole time?
Yeah, that's really difficult to deal with the Tempests for that reason. But now I want to ask, Yatahan has been asking, should we keep this Pokebots or Gauntlet tournament on the stream? And I think the Gauntlet tournament got more votes. So what do you guys think? Should we have a Gauntlet tournament on the stream?
I mean, yeah, we can do. I'd be up for that.
I mean,
Like,
means
we
we have
can-
some
I
guaranteed
have
games
already
every
played
week
a
too.
couple of games.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have some of the community tournament as well. Like, we'll be streaming those separately. So yeah, that'd be fun. So guys, sign up for the community
I think-
tournament. It's going to be good. Ketrock's going to come and blast
Yeah.
us all.
I think I will wanna join also, but I can't play, so I will be beaten up. But that's fine.
Yeah.
But today I think we are running out of time. At least I am, and I was hoping. Is next week okay for Yata Hunt example? Are you able to join next week Sunday for the Gauntlet tournament?
I think so. Yeah, why not?
So what's the plan? Do like
So
2 or 3 Gauntlet games each community
I
stream?
think so.
And then
Yeah.
yeah,
Mix. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
yeah, I think 3 games should be fine. I think 3 games should be fine.
Okay.
And if Getrock, if you're able to join, it's been really nice to see you're casting those games. I would like you to have there also. So I think you will have most knowledge of all of the bots. So you're really welcome there. And of course, everybody else, please join next week Sunday also on the stream.
I think we lost you there, Civilis.
Oh no, I can still hear him.
Can you? Oh, maybe it's me then.
Yeah, it's probably. But yeah, so also with the announcements I made earlier, I will get a wiki post up, and so that will all be detailed, and people can read it. So that will be up either tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on how lazy I am. So, but yeah, so
Okay,
essentially, just to recap that quickly, so we're ending the season on the 21st of December, which gives you all of Christmas to prepare for our nice, awesome tournament, which is happening early January. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Quick one. Will be also for Probots or only for that Christmas tournament?
So this is only for the Christmas tournament or the New Year tournament. So I think we're going to be doing separate from ProBots. We're obviously going to be consulting with them about their schedule as well. So they might want to do something early in the new year, which means we get 2 shorter seasons. But hopefully you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, it will be great.
completely fine.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you very much. It's been fun.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, bye.
See you next week.
See you next
Yeah.
week.